And we are back. We are back with Spyro the Dragon. So, this is a little marathon I was kind of pushed into because Toys for Bob announced the new game for Spyro into things. It was either going to be this or Final Fantasy X, which we will be doing when we're done. Once the Spyro original trilogy is done, we'll be moving on to Final Fantasy X. But it's not just original Spyro the Dragon trilogy. We're only going to be doing 6 games for this. The original PS1 trilogy, which this is the big PS3 we have, which is mostly owned by my sister. I now have it. Um, we'll be not only doing the original versions of Spyro 1, Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon, but we'll also be doing the reignited versions of these games, just to see how they compare. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be finishing a game normally, then we're going to play the reignited version of the game. So when we're done with the first Spyro game, we'll do the reignited version. When we're done with Ripto's Rage, PS1 Ripto's Rage, we'll do reignited Ripto's Rage. When we're done with Year of the Dragon, we'll do reignited Year of the Dragon. So that is going to be it for this. There we go. Trying to move myself. That's going to be what this marathon is about. It's just the original trilogy, no GBA, no Enter the Dragonfly, no Hero's Tale, no Legends, the Sierra games, no Skylanders. The reason for that is I don't have a good way of actually for streaming for those, but if it for some like stupid ass blind luck, either the GBA trilogy are added to NSO, the GBA version of Legend, Legends games, or Sony adds any of the other games onto classics. We'll do those, but that's the only way we're going to do those, okay? So for now, I want to talk about my thoughts and feelings on Spyro first, which I will be doing this when we're doing the credits, but I kind of want to do this new little thing for this, you know? I grew up with Spyro way more than I did with Crash and with Mario 64. Like hell, my first two Mario to give an example of how not into 3D Mario I am. My first 3D Mario was Sunshine. Dead serious. It was Sunshine. I played 64. I played on stream, but I kind of quit that. But I do want to go back to it. But yeah, I'm way more into Spyro. And I've noticed that if you grow in between Crash and Spyro, if you grew up with one, then chances are you're not going to be a fan of the other. Like some call me Johnny's review of the Spyro games. He grew up with Crash way more than Spyro. So he thinks the Spyro games are just okay. I don't agree because I grew up with Spyro. Not saying he's wrong. Not saying he is wrong. Wrong. Johnny's a good dude. Johnny is a good dude. He should be watched. But it was actually his reviews that helped me realize this thought train of if you grew up with Spyro, you like Spyro and think Crash is okay. If you grew up with Crash, you like Crash and think Spyro is okay. But yeah, the Spyro games are some. Spyro 1 is actually one of the only PS1 games I've mostly played. It was this, Sheep Raider that I have streamed before. Well, all three of these games actually. Gex 3, Crash 3 works. I at least grew up with Crash 3, which is why I'm more adhered to Crash 3, and CTR, which my sister has too. If I do CTR, it will be nitro fueled because the. I'm getting off topic, but no, I'll talk about that later. Klonoa, Tomba 2, and yeah, that's kind of it. But yeah, let's start our adventure with the little purple dragon that beats the crap out of the orange marsupial. uh, I hate the PS3 does that, and really wish that they would put these games on the fucking onto the fucking PSN Sony. Really fucking wish you guys would do that. Lazy jackasses. Oh sure, we'll give a lot of Tekken in Soul Calibur. You're Sony is just so stupid. Nintendo's stupid too. I'm not gonna say that Nintendo's not is not any better, but it's like, yeah, no memory card for here. Oh, I forgot to set up internal memory card. Oops. Oh well. While I'm doing this, I will jump onto my streaming call and let Cocoms know they're good to join up. But yeah, because you need a memory card for these. Sign slots. Yeah, this is a fat PS2. This is a fat PS3, which can play PS2 games. I can't play PS2 games anymore on this because the laser for that died, but not for PS3 games. I hate that. I'm really annoyed because I really want to do Xenosaga. Really fucking want to do a Xenosaga playthrough for you guys. But because of this is laser going down. If anyone knows how to fix the PS2 laser on a PS3, please tell me. I would be glad. I want to know. But anyway, this and the fact that Namco, because of Namco, Monolith, and Nintendo don't want to, for some reason, re-release Xenosaga. Although I do think that Nintendo would if they could. So I think it's more Namco's side. Especially considering they said no to Harada wanting to fucking do that. Anyway. Let's get started on Spyro. This is before I lose my damn mind. I love the PS1 sound bit a lot more. I love the PS1 inch noise way more than the GameCube one. I like it a lot more. Shoot me. You can't do that in game. Create file. Take save slot 1. And because there's no thing, I have to be quiet.
Okay, rolling.
Oh, it's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it six? For a dragon's age. We now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
What about this Ganasty Gnork character? Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature.
Simple.
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom. No threat! Besides, he is ugly. That does it.
Looks like I've got some things to do.
For those of you that just played the Reignited trilogy, that voice for Spyro sounds really different. It's not Tom Kenny. Tom Kenny never took over the role of Spyro until Spyro 2. In Spyro 1, it's Carlos Alaquazi. I butchered the last name. You might remember if the name sounds familiar. Rocco and Rocco's Modern Life, the Taco Bell dog from those commercials, and Denzel Crocker in Fairly Odd Parents. Basically, your goal is to free all the dragons.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the Artisan world. Then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
In addition to dragons, there are a few other things we also have to find. In addition to gems, which basically they're, yeah. In addition to gems, there's also one other collectible we can grab. We can grab, but we'll cover that later. But for now, we'll explore Artisans. I am going to turn up. Okay, it's on. It's on. We're going to explore Artisans right now before we go to any hub world, any of the main worlds. Over here is the balloonist, Marco. If you prove your worth by rescuing 10 dragons, then you may use this balloon to fly to a new world. In order to get to the other worlds of this game, you need to do something specific. In the case of going from Artisans to the second world, we need to free 10 dragons. Which isn't that simple because dragons, since with all these worlds how they are. These pearl chests give you Spyro statues, which are lives. These green enemies are Nasty Nork's minions. Flame them and you'll get gems. Another dragon over here.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro. You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
Yes, the little yellow fluttering guy next to us is Sparks. Sparks is our health indicator. Sadly, I won't get to show that off here in Artisans because none of the enemies fucking hit you. They will in later worlds. But anyway, these big guys can be flamed or charged. They are our two methods of attacking. We'll cover the differences once we get into more later things. Huh, that seems a little suspicious. No. When you finish talking to a dragon, stand on a thing and you can save, replay the dragon. This is the only one of the trio that does not have auto saving. These also mark as checkpoints, so if you die, you'll be restarted right about here. Anyway, flame these guys. Collect more gems. And yes, because he has wings, Spyro can glide. He slowly goes down after time, but You can fall, but you can fall straight down after by pressing triangle. It's not really that useful. Go into here with a big thing in the back. Flame some more chests to get gems. And free another dragon. Most dragons usually have at least 3, 4 in a world.
The
A stage.
Artisans boss is through a portal in the Dragon Mouth, but you are not yet ready, Spyro. First, you must complete one of the other artisan lands.
This is the only time they do that in this game, but we cannot go into this dragon head until we finish one of the 3 other levels in this game, in this world. I will always do the bosses last. So yeah. Annoyingly, like I said, this is the only time they lock off the boss. Well, 1 of 2 times they lock off the boss. Boss behind a requirement. The other worlds, they don't do that, which I don't like. I kind of wish they did that. Reignited does not change that either, which really annoys me.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks, plummeting into prehistoric glaciers.
Oh, that.
Yeah, you can do that. Pressing pause will give you continue options, your inventory, which tells you exactly what you have. I'll probably move myself down here. And here more. Yeah. Artisan's home, 100 treasure, 4 dragons. We're missing 75. Fine. We're missing 25. There is a cumulative treasure, but we'll talk about that later. For right now, for now though, the gem counter is always tracks your top gems that you've collected currently. Jump down here to collect them for this. Yeah. Yeah, you can't, like I said, you can't turn a glide in. You can't charge in the middle of a glide and then go back to gliding, which is really weird. Anyway. Alright, so we're missing 4. Now we need to just scour around. That's going to be one of the bigger annoying parts of this game. Scouring around. I'll explain why when we start doing the reignited version. Also, camera controls are the bumpers. This was pre analog sticks. 2 and 3, I believe, have analog stick control, or at least 3. I don't know. No. Pressing L1 or R1 will cause Spyro to roll. You can use this to get out of the way. I don't really use it because it's kind of useless. Oh, there's a 2 I missed. There are no gems in the dragon head, so if you're thinking that, no. We have 2 more to find. Ah, there you are. And that is all 100 gems and all 4 dragons of Artisans home. Which means it's time to go to one of the 3 worlds. For Artisans, we can go to either Stone Hill over here, straight dab in the middle. Dark Hollow over here in this hedge maze. Or Town Square, which was down this way and up that whirlwind in that tower. You can go to the worlds in any order you want to, but honestly, I always stick with the basic order, so we're starting with Stone Hill. Your total treasure is the cumulative amount of treasure you collected. Your gem score is always reset to 0 when you start a world because it counts up the number of gems that you need to collect for the world. In this case, 200. Anyway, now we can start dealing with enemies. Sparks is your health. Full health, he is yellow. After taking a hit, he goes blue. After taking another hit after that, he goes green. And after that, he is gone. If you take a hit when you don't have sparks around you, that's a life lost. How do you get sparks back to full? Flame or charge into any little creature that you can find called fodder. Anyway, jump down here for the first dragon of the stage.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. When he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
They will keep your dragon tool accumulated though. This is a locked chest. Basically, we need a key to open it. Keys are always hidden in the level you find the chest, so just keep an eye out on that. As for this key, we'll get to that in a little bit. First off, go into here to uncover a room with some gems and another dragon. This introduces the two types of containers you have. Normal chests and these gray chests. These gray ones are metallic. Spyro's flame will not break them, but his charge will. The normal crates are broken by either or.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
I'll save here. Yeah, like I said, you can either save the game or play the dragon to hear their stuff again. It's kind of basic-y stuff that I'll be explaining, so you don't really need to worry about replaying the dragon unless you just want to hear their voice. Anyway, enter this chamber to get a 1-up. And another dragon with a weird thing.
After you freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya.
You can either leave a level by doing that, or by using the exit level thing in the options. Jump onto this gate, you can see that there's a small beach that you can walk on. Oddly, this is the only area you will hear seagulls. You will not hear them in the rest of the level. Anyway, and here is the key for the chest. Okay, chest. just collect the gems down here and use the whirlwind to get you back up. Yes, those are called whirlwinds. They basically are magical energy that just brings Spyro up. Jump back into here to unlock the chest. They usually have a good assortment of gems, and you are going to need to use them. One more little alcove to enter. And enter a big area with a bunch of with a bunch of ramps. And a bunch of weird men that tell you to back up when you get near. These guys are usually the first enemy that would give you trouble because if you let them hold still for a while, they will swing their cane at you. But a good flame or charge will deal with them. I mostly like to flame enemies that I can and charge enemies that I need to, but it just feels because the weird knockback when you hit a wall or something.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the X button at the top of a jump, and try pressing the triangle button to drop down in mid-flight.
Dropping down is relatively useless. It is not a... I mean, it's... Well, okay, I shouldn't say call it useless, but it's not helpful. Here it's useful because you were going just to get a little bit of a thing put down, but yeah, this is a little extra area that you do need to go. You'll run into a barrier when you get near these towers, so don't go near it. But the rest of this upper area is yours to explore. Up here, you'll find this guy. An egg thief. Basically, this is the third type of collectible that you need to grab. Dragon eggs, because these guys stole them. You'll be seeing these guys a lot more in Spyro 3, though. But there are a few times when you will see them. Anyway, go around here, and you'll be basically on the alcove on the castle area that basically, that's basically where the end of the level, near the end of the level. But we are not done. We have a few more gems to acquire. Three more, which should be around up here. Yep. Gems usually give off multiple numbers. Red ones are 1, green are 2, blue are 5, yellow are 10, which we will be encountering those later, especially when we start getting to some of the bigger spots. Levels, because most of the later levels are going to have like 400 gems, 400 to 500 gems total, and there's also very rare purple ones that give 25. Upon returning to a world or dying, all enemies respawn. Now they drop little pearls that, when collected, go around the head image of Spyro. What does that mean? We'll find out. Artisans is kind of the best area to grind for these because of these guys dropping them. Because when they go down, they drop 3. So those guys are very easy to get. But anyway, Like the dragon over there said, completing one artisan world will unlock the way to the boss. Bosses will be saved for last. Anyway, next up is Dark Hollow, which is a fairly short level because you'll see what I mean. I do hope the music is fine. You know, I'm hoping that it's not. Yeah. I don't want to be overpowering it, but I also don't want you guys to be able to hear it. You know. Anyway, here we're introduced to shield enemies, which require charging. But these guys also hold their shields out to their side so you can flame them. These are one of the very few enemies that you still can flame even though they're shielded. It also introduces big boys. Charging will not work, so flaming them works. Your flame does have a pretty wide reach, so don't forget that.
Oh, it's you. I wasn't sure if you'd escape those annoying little creatures. Of course, they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint.
But I do wish that I could,
A charge attack will take care of them.
I wish the Elgato thing wasn't going through the desktop audio. I wish I could fix that. You know. Anyway. Over here is a path that you actually can very rarely miss unless if you don't go up there. Because look, I mean, you could probably do it while looking around, but you also could probably guess it's like, oh, that's just a wall thing because you see these guys. Anyway, in this way, you encounter some big guys. Flame them when they turn around. You cannot charge them because they're big. You cannot charge their stomachs because they are metallic. But if you get close, they will knock you back. Surprisingly harmless. Surprisingly harmless. Anyway, enter here for a little alcove with the dragon.
Spyro, want to know a secret? Use the triangle button when you want to zoom in and look around. Oh, your secret's safe with me.
Yeah, like the dragon said, press triangle to start looking around. It's helpful for if you want to get a good viewpoint. It's more useful in 2 and 3 though, because of an extra mechanic that they give you. Because 2 and 3 because yeah, this is kind of all you get. 2 and 3 add a lot more to the mechanic, especially 2. Oh, missed that. I always miss that gem. That's one gem I always miss. Because it's like I always forget about it being there. Anyway. Yeah, jumping while charging kind of gimps you, so be careful. Anyway, flame these frogs for butterflies. These Norks will hide behind the big guy. And like I said, if you're willing to just wait for them to drop their shields, flame them. Anyway, this does nothing. This literally does nothing. It's just a cool little mechanic that you can see to just, oh, hey, I can light this on fire. They don't do that. They don't do torch puzzles here. Anyway, X out that side to get to that gem. Enter this little boss arena and deal with this easy guy to get a few more gems. glide over to this alcove for another life. And a few extra gems, and head back over here to deal with the remainder of the level. Flame the big guy. Flame or charge these guys. One last dragon, and you see the home portal.
Big enemies like this Gnorc with the club cannot be charged, but a quick flame, that should defeat them.
It's kind of the same, similar to like an light attack, easy attack in like later action games, you know? Like the flame is the faster one to get out, but would be considered the weaker, while the charge is the heavier one. It's honestly a good compare contrast. Alright, so we forgot to go back to do the lock cage. Spyro is pretty fast on his own, but if it's for something like really long or really like, oh god, I need to look, I will charge. Shoot. And we're missing 2 gems. Oh, there they are. Right behind the first dragon over here. Oh, so you might be wondering, hey, this is actually a pretty short stage. Why is it not first? I don't know. I really don't know. Like Dark Hollow is kind of a much easier, is a much shorter level, and so it's kind of weird that it's like it's not the first stage you would go to. I'm not trying to say Stonehill is harder, no, but Dark Hollow is essentially relatively short. It's kind of a very linear stage, which yeah. Yeah, not a lot of levels are linear though. But nope. This guy will run into where near we found Balloonist, which we do have 11 dragons, so we can move on to the second world, but we're not doing that. We're finishing everywhere. We're finishing the world before we do this. Flame this guy and go flame this guy. Alright, we should have... Yeah, so this guy should give us the remaining pearls. There you go. Completing a ring of pearls around Spyro's head will give you an extra life. But anyway. One more level before the boss fight. Town Square. A decently linear level with 200 gems and 4 dragons. These weird chickens are the fodder for the level. And if Sparks is full, he will ignore the chickens. Sparks is also your method of grabbing gems, so if he's gone, then you have to go to the gems yourself. You would lose the range to be able to grab them.
Welcome to Town Square, Spyro. Begin exploring by gliding to that area with the bulls. Use the L2 and R2 buttons to get a good look.
These bulls can be easily taken out with the flame, but you can charge them to get their horns stuck in the ground. They will struggle to get it, but that also still counts as a kill, so doing that will not give you double gems. all gems are placed naturally. So they're not like the rings in Sonic or well, they're kind of similar to coins in Mario, but once you get all the gems in a stage, you can't get gems. So they're kind of similar to coins in Mario, but at the same time completely limited.
I had the worst itch on the tip of my wing. Oh, did you know that you get your longest glides by pressing X at the very top of your jump?
Yeah, we already knew that. We also have a bullfighter enemy around here. You also hear a snake thief. This is one of the few annoying spots to get. We'll come to this in a minute. Okay, cool. Made it. There are a few gems here, so that's why I'm not charging after the egg thief. Flame this and this down. Now, annoyingly, he is down here, but he'll jump all the way back up there. So, certain egg thieves are in really bad loops. I will not defend some of the loopage for some of the thieves. It's kind of annoying. But there we go. You can press the X button to skip scenes like getting an egg and opening a locked chest. But go over here, smash this stuff, and glide over here for another dragon and some more gems. Constantly flame these fans, and they will eventually break and go off on their own. But anyway, free this dragon.
Thank you for releasing me.
You will hear that a lot, especially starting in the second world. Yeah, most of the dragons in Artisans in World 2. Well, most of the dragons in Artisans will give advice, but once you start reaching the second world, then you'll start getting to a lot of the thank you for releasing me's. So prepare to hear that a lot.
Spyro, did you see a man dressed in blue running around here? He's a thief, and he's stolen a dragon egg. You've got to track him down and get that egg.
I already dealt with him.
I'm getting a little winded.
I already dealt with him. But anyway, that is all the dragons here. And that is all 200 gems. So that is Town Square done. And with that done, we will now move into the next into the boss stage. But we are going to get some more pearls. I always like to get pearls while exploring the hub world, just to build up our life counter. I also will stop off onto here to save. But ultimately, saving it, like I said, saving is always manual. Granted, the save system for this game is annoying, but it's way better than Crash once. Okay, and I'm not going to be doing this. Oh, I think Spyro is better than Crash. No, I'm not going to be like one of those people. No, okay. I think Crash is fine on its own merits. I prefer Spyro way more, but I do also like Crash. Anyway, but yeah, I will give shit to the original Crash though, because I'm not going to be doing this for Crash 1 though. This type of thing for Crash 1, like we're playing through the original and then playing through Reignited. I'm not doing that for Crash 1 because Crash 1 has an awful save system. Has so many awful mechanics. If I do when I do a Crash thing, which I do want to do maybe after Final Fantasy X, if 10 or sometime after the new Spyro game, I will. But I'm not doing the original Crash. We're doing an Insane Trilogy, then we're going to Crash 2 and 3. Then again, I don't really have anyway, like I said, completing a level will make the dragon open up his mouth, and you can reach the boss level Toasty. Boss level is always named after the boss. But we do have a level to deal with for this. The sheep herders are backed by by sheepdogs. As you saw, they require 2 hits. When you get close, they will automatically start their attack. The sheepdog are the bigger threats. Are the bigger threats than the sheep herders themselves, but their attack is essentially a body slam. So that's why it's either roll to the side, or just basically do a jump attack and a jump flame and deal with it. Your charge, I don't know if I hit if I hit its hitbox or not, but charging is not that useful. These are actually the only enemies that actually would take more than 1 hit. Like even in this, actually, there are a few enemies in 2 and 3 that require multiple hits, but not a whole lot. Like, you know. Anyway, most boss stages have at least like 1 to 200 gems and only 1 dragon, always before the boss.
Nasty Nork has put one of his most devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on. I think I smell a barbecue.
Be careful, Spyro. This boss has many tricks up his sleeve.
A pumpkin-headed scarecrow with a scythe. That's a sheep in a robe. Get close to him and he'll swing that scythe. Flame him and he'll move on to the next segment. Flame him a second time and the costume will fall off and the sheep will reveal itself. I almost always get hit there. There also are no fodder around here. Get close to him and he will swing and he will kick you with one of his stilts. I'd show that off, but I'm now green. Anyway, flame these 2 for the remaining 2 gems. And that is Artisans Homeworld done. We will take this time to get some fodder. I don't think dragonflies eat butterflies in the real world, but yeah. Gonna get some more pearls. We're not gonna go all through the world to get the pearls. We're just gonna kill the enemies around here to get pearls, which would give us a new life. Like, we're not gonna go for the one thing. Sometimes already defeated enemies will drop lives too, but it's very rare. With those types of enemies, it's actually very cool that when they drop alive, because, hey, anyway, return to the balloonist. By the way, this is the only area of Artisans you can die in. Well done, Spyro. Didn't think you could do it. We travel to the Peacekeepers world if you like. You can either stay here or go to the Peacekeepers. And if you don't believe me, see? We do need to back off him a little bit. There we go. Move on to Peacekeepers by jumping on his head.